I'm Taylor Knight for the Greenwich Sentinel here with Frank Gaudio, the CEO and President of First Bank of Greenwich. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Good, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
So we'll get started. Can you tell me about First Bank of Greenwich? A little bit about it.
We are a community-based bank here in Greenwich, in Coscob, and we are doing a lot of good work here in the community when it comes to every event possible, I think. We do lending, commercial lending, and residential lending, and we're pretty good at what we do. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been there for now over 5 years. The bank was in existence 5 years prior to that. We are basically lending in Fairfield and Westchester, mainly Greenwich. We made Greenwich our first priority because we're here, and we are spreading out. We have a loan office now opened up in Stamford because we had a lot of our clients that are up in that area.
Right.
And Westchester, we always had people from Westchester coming over, so we open our arms to all, but mainly we are Greenwich Coscob, local community bank. We service most of the small middle-sized businesses here. Our lending capacity is pretty high, so we are doing a lot of lending in the area also, in both commercial and residential lending. We have a Start to Save program for the kids. We have our art exhibits. We have a business-to-business group which we formed. So it's been exciting. It's been fun.
Great, and you said you've been with the bank for 5 years now?
I've been with the bank for 5 years, president 1 year and CEO 1 year, but yeah, it's my first year in that position. I was doing business development prior to this position.
Okay, and reflecting back on that, how do you think you've helped the bank grow?
We developed a culture there that's pretty unusual. Our culture is more of a community bank than it is a commercial bank like Citibank or Wells Fargo or one of the big banks. We service our customers to an extreme. Unlike a lot of the big banks now are getting away from servicing customers with real people. They want to do it all through automation. So if you go into a branch like Chase Manhattan in the city, they have 52 machines and one teller, which makes no sense to me, but that's the way they run their bank. So what's going on is that it's getting away from a people-type business. I like to meet every customer that comes in the bank. I don't know how long I'll be able to do that for, but I do meet with most people that are coming in the bank, and I know them by name, by first name, which is very unusual because you don't have a president of the bank sitting out on, right in the floor where they can reach you. I do work on loans with the people that come in. I enjoy it. That was my background is in lending. So I enjoy sitting down, learning about people's businesses and what they do, and get a comfort level with them, which is unusual also. So my staff works with me. They sit in with me, so you don't have to come back 3 times and speak to 3 different people and tell your same story again.
That's nice.
Yeah, so we try to all be on the same page. We've developed a wonderful staff there. So while we're different, is I stay in touch with my staff a lot more than most presidents and CEOs. I put my name on the billboard. I put my cell on the billboard, and I'm out there, and it's working. We're getting a word out into the neighborhood, and I think people learn to trust us and to come in. We're having a good time. We're having a really, really fun time at the bank, and it's been really good. Business has been great. We love serving this community. We love what we do. I try to find as many charities as we can get involved with. You'll see us at probably every event that's here in Greenwich, and you'll be seeing us in Stamford, and hopefully you'll be seeing us in Westchester also. As we expand. So hopefully we'll see how that goes.
Great, and why is it important to be so community-based, especially in Greenwich?
Good question. I learned very young. My father was in retail, and I learned how to service customers, and I think people in Greenwich want to be taken care of. They want a personal approach to it. There is always that occasion where you want to be online, and it's great to do things quickly, and that's all good. But when it comes down to your finances, you want to sit with someone. You don't want to go through a process with an automated system, which they claim is, a lot of people claim to be a rocket mortgage and all this other stuff, and I've had experience with them. It's a lot different when you're online than when you are sitting with somebody, because most people don't fit the box. And lately more than usual. And if you don't fit the box, you want to sit down with somebody that's going to give you the experience and advice that I do. Sometimes I tell them that we can't help them because they can't be helped at that moment. But there are a lot of people on the streets that are not doing that, and they waste a lot of the people's time. Um, and I think the good thing about being a community bank is that we're able to do these things, and we're held accountable, which is fine. And I like that because we've earned the respect and trust from a lot of the people that we do business with. They've realized what a service they're getting. And my team at the bank is phenomenal. I mean, the group that we have there in lending and even on the floor on the retail side, they've all been handpicked basically, and it's a culture internally where we all know how important the customer is. And I think the big institutions are getting away from that. I don't know why. And I'm actually happy. I want to send them flowers to thank them for all the business they're sending me because of the mistreatment of customers. So that's why. And I love being a community bank because it's small enough for me to still feel effective and to feel like we've accomplished something and working with people that are in the community. We do shredding events. We do you pick something, Silver Shield, YMCA. We were active with that. On and on and on. I can keep going on, but we've just been very fortunate and lucky that we're in a great community. It's a community that demands a lot from you, but I enjoy that. So which is fine. And the problem is trying to figure out where you put your time and money into, which I've been learning and working with the right people. So that's good. It's good to see, it going to good use.
Definitely. And now back to those events. You have art galleries, all that kind of stuff. Can you maybe dive into that a little bit more?
We started doing art exhibits when I first got to the bank. There was nothing on the walls. They were bland, and the former president didn't like having anything on the walls or on the desk. And I got there and I thought I was lacking a little color, and I like doing it. So we started doing these art exhibits, and with local artists. We'd pick a local artist, a local musician, and a local restaurant to cater. And we started doing these exhibits, and they just turned into a cult. So it's been quite fun. We have anywhere from 200 to 300 people that show up at our bank. We close the door when we close the bank at 4. We reopen at 5:30. It's a totally different atmosphere. It looks like something out of a movie. We've been fortunate to be gifted with a lot of good artists from the area. Local people have been here, grew up here, and you can go on the website and see all these different artists that we've had, and it's just fun. It's a great way for them to exhibit their work. It's a great way for us to have art in our bank. We change constantly, which is great. I usually buy a painting from each one of the artists for the bank, so we put permanent fixtures up on a wall.
That's great.
Yeah, it is great. And local musicians that come and play are great, and the restaurant people have a ball too because they get to show off their cooking. And we pay the whole bill. We don't ask the artist for anything, no money, no commission. We do the invitations. We work on all of that. So that's been a real blessing also to the bank. So they've turned into quite a fiasco. What else can I tell you? So that's our art exhibits. They're posted on our site. If you go to we have to go on our B2B to get invited, to get invitations out. It got to a point where I used to call all these people up on a telephone and tell them to make sure that they come to the event, and I couldn't keep up with it. I think we have over 2,000 people on our B2B list, and that list, we send all the invitations to all of our events through that list. So if you're not on the B2B, get on the B2B. It's free. You can opt out and opt in, which is great. You can advertise your business, and it's a good way for you to connect with other businesses that are it's sort of like energies, if people are into the whole like energy thing. I have a lot of magazines that want to advertise a lot of the events that we do, and I try not to do that because what we're doing is it's grassroots. We invite you invite your sister, and it seems that we have all these great people coming together and different types of people. It's not one-dimensional when it comes to whether it's all accountants or all lawyers. You have the store owner, you have the personal laborer, you have an artist. It's very well mixed, and it's a very eclectic group, and we never know what we're going to get at some of these art exhibits. We've changed the art around. We actually did a mask exhibit from the kids from school, the third graders, I think it was, and it was phenomenal. We had a singing ice cream man with an ice cream truck out in the parking lot for them, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and so we do some different things there at the bank.
Great. And now you are focusing on women in business.
Well, we've always focused on
Mhm.
women in business, but
Okay.
this year we're putting a little more attention into it. I've asked the group at the bank to help in that we have a lot of women that work at our facility. I think we have more women than men, and I've asked them to get together this year and do something with the women's event, and they have agreed to do that amongst all the other events that we do, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And how it all started was I actually did a men's event, and the girls got a little jealous. So I'm opening up the door because I didn't want them to be jealous because, and I think it's going to be I think they're going to be more well received than I was with the men's event. Even though the men's event was phenomenal, and the men wanted me to keep doing it, but there's only so many events we can do. As you know, we do a big B2B event every year, and that's going to be June 16th this year. We're doing it again. Julie's going to kill me for saying that because we didn't even open it up to the public yet. But it looks like we're going in that direction to do that big event, and that's a lot of fun, and we enjoy doing that every year. So hopefully we'll be able to do it again this year. We've done it 2 years in a row, I think. Is it 2 years, Julia? 3 years. So this will be our fourth, I guess. Yeah, so this is going to be fun. We'll see if we have enough energy to do it this year. We're looking forward to doing it. And that's our update there. So I'm trying to think of all the other things that we're doing.
So if people want to sign up, they just go to that B2B website.
Just go to the B2B website and sign in, and then they'll get their invitation in the mail, through email. And I won't be calling too many people. 2,000 is a lot to call to remind them. Yes. So yeah, that's our update.
Great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me.
And we're very excited about your newspaper, by the way, because I'm really happy you guys came to Greenwich. I think it's a great newspaper. I think it's a great means for us to advertise through. I'm supporting you guys, and I'm going to continue to support you. It's a local paper.
Yes.
We're enjoying it. I enjoy reading it.
Thank you.
And I think you guys are doing a great job here in Connecticut and Greenwich especially.
Thank you. We really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you guys are working hard, and keep up the good work, and
You too.
we'll be moving along with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Frank Gaudio for the First Bank of Greenwich.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.